Hi, I'm Jim Jansen, and I want to talk about one feature of APG, our automatic persona generation, that is called the comparison feature. So again, we have our list of personas here. We have 10 personas from our organization. Okay, they're listed here. And what we can do is, sometimes with these large user populations, you want to see the differences, okay, and see how each of your personas in your persona set, your cast of personas here, how they're similar, how they're different, what sets them apart, things like that. And that is really important when you're dealing with 10, 15, sometimes more personas, and with large organizations or organizations with diverse user populations, you can end up with a lot of personas, okay, in your cast. Often you're not dealing with all of them at one time. You only deal with 1, 2, 3, maybe a handful, but those others are still there. They may be your secondary personas or personas that this particular feature doesn't directly apply to, but they're somehow associated with your organization, your product, your system. So what we can do is a comparison, all right? And this is just our kind of standard list here. So it shows all the personas and their topics, so that they're most interested in, least interested in, audience size, and things like that. Right, and just presented in a list. But what we can also do is do generations. We can compare, okay? In this particular example, we're going to compare our current set of personas, those 10 I just showed you, to some other set of personas. So our current set is from our organization's YouTube channel. Let's say we want to compare them to our Google Analytics, okay, which is our website, all right. And what we can now do is we're comparing those particular personas generated from the 2 data sets, okay, and comparing them in a matrix here, all right. So our legend here is, if it's all clear, they're not similar, and dark blue very similar, and light blue somewhere in between, and it's shaded, right? So and what we can see here is that our courses, ESOMs are right on with each other. Okay, and in terms of demographics and also generally interested topics, all right. By the way, our rows are our current, and the red columns are the analytics that we're comparing to. Right. So this is on basic attributes and similarity. We can also see just on engagement. Okay, so let's pick one here. So yeah, we could just see well, in this case, the demographics, or excuse me, engagement demographics. And then we can also, if we want to, we can just look at statistics, okay, and how they compare to each other, okay. Because what we found is that personas are very, very valuable, all right, but that is in almost every task. You often need some numbers, okay? And the one thing about having these personas online, okay, in a persona analytics system, that the data is there, and you can drill down fairly rapidly, okay, like I've just done here, to do a comparison of personas and see how these personas are generated. We've also found that having these numbers gives people a lot of confidence in the personas, because one of the criticisms of personas sometimes is like, okay, who are they? Where do the personas come from? I didn't create them, that kind of stuff. But if they have the numbers right behind them, they're like, this is good. And one of the I guess values about personas is that from a qualitative approach, is that you can get stakeholders involved, okay? And by the way, that is a really great aspect of qualitative personas that are kind of not done here with algorithmic personas. The problem we've ran into with this qualitative approach is that personnel turnover in organizations is so high that even if you actually go into an organization, create the personas, you'll have a set of people that are like, okay, I understand this, and then a year later, 40% of them will be gone. All right, so this particular approach with having the numbers behind the algorithmic approach is one way to address this trust and viability in the personas. So yeah, that's our comparison feature, and again, a really a byproduct of an algorithmic data-driven approach where the data is collected monthly and we can constantly generate these personas.